There's a new trend on social media that's going to help you reach 10 times more people, and it's going to take a lot less of your time. Let me explain. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 411 of the Massive Agent Podcast. I am your host, Dustin Brohm, here in Orlando, Florida. Yeah, a little different today if you're watching on YouTube. Obviously, this is not my normal podcast setup, not the normal backdrop. I am here live at the, what do we call this? The Real Podcasting Studio here at Rise in Orlando, Florida. So I'm at the World Center Marriott in the podcasting room. And this is a little weird for me because normally when I podcast, it's just me in front of the computer all by myself. And now I'm in the studio, which is kind of cool. I can get used to this. But episode 411, I'm going to break down this new trend that's happening on social media that when you can get it right, when you nail it and you embrace this yourself, it's going to help you reach 10 times more people or more, and it's going to take a lot less time. So I see agents most of the time overthinking content and overthinking as far as like how produced it needs to be. You need to buy a bunch of fancy equipment. Like, for example, you need to go get a nice light, fancy camera, dual mics, podcast studio. No, you don't. No, you don't. This trend that's happening on social right now is that simplicity and authenticity is outperforming produced and, overly edited stuff. So this is so amazing. And I've been testing this out over the last few months because I used to do talking head videos a lot. Talking head videos, I'd say a year or two ago, were huge. It was what you needed to do, but that meant you needed like a nice background with some lighting and, nice crisp camera. And the thing is, they just got overdone and people started to not connect with them nearly as much. And so lately on social media, especially like the last 6 months for sure, and even before that, but the last 6 months, the stuff that's just random, off the cuff, authentic, like you just holding your phone and speaking to it while it's moving and shaking a little bit, it tends to outperform the stuff that's done in a studio like this. So I say that to encourage the hell out of you, because if you're overthinking that it has to be this big fancy production all the time and that it has to be this big long script, no. Sometimes the shorter video is better. So whatever it is that you want to say it and end it. Say it and end the video. You don't need to drone on. You don't have to continue, giving point after point after point to your main point. Just say the thing and end the video. And when that happens, people get the point. It replays, and a lot of times you're going to get the way the algorithm works. It gets like 100% of the video is watched instead of if you made it 2 minutes long instead of 20 seconds. People are going to watch 100% of the 20 seconds. If you made it 2 minutes long, they might watch 20%, 30%. And so if people are finishing your videos because they're shorter and quick and to the point, the algorithm's going to love it and show it to more people, and it's going to perform better. So that's just one example. And I mentioned the talking head videos that used to work really, really well back in the day. If you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you've noticed I hardly do those at all. I try not to do them ever because they just don't work nearly as well as if I'm sitting in my car, for example, holding my phone, or doing a green screen video where I have an article, a video, or a photo or something behind me, and then the green screen just superimposes you on top of it, and you just talk about whatever's behind you. That format crushes. It beats the hell out of the talking head, overly produced, overly polished videos almost 100% of the time. But here's what you need to know, though. Okay, so shorter, more authentic, more simple, more authentic is better. But the content itself is what matters most. Not how well done it is, not the lighting. You've got to meet a few basic criteria. You have to be clearly seen. So make sure that you have light coming at you and not from behind you. So make sure at a minimum, you're clearly seen in the video, and then make sure you're clearly heard. So something that my buddy Neil Dingred taught me, if you are within arm's length of if you're holding your phone, if you're within arm's length of that phone, you don't need a mic. You could just talk and you don't need a fancy mic. If the video's on a tripod over here, then you need a mic. But you could just get some mic minis, some DJI mic minis, which I use. They're super easy and cheap, work really, really well. You don't need much more than that. What matters more, as long as you're clearly seen and clearly heard, is that people actually want to see and hear what the video is about. That's what matters most. So if you look back at all these viral videos, I try to study viral videos. I know it sounds kind of nerdy, but I look at videos that are just going crazy, and I try to look at it objectively and say, what about that made it go viral? Like, why is that video crushing it right now? Why is it showing up in front of millions of people on social? And I mean, usually it's random stuff, but there's some common threads. It just gets right into it. It grabs your attention immediately, and it's interesting and entertaining. Interesting and entertaining. So when you're trying to think of what to do, instead of thinking about all this production stuff, just grab your phone, take some thought, like take some time in the beginning to just think through what you're going to say, what the hook's going to be, give yourself some bullet points. You still need to be authentic. So I don't think you should script it fully, because it's hard to be authentic when you're fully scripted, but give yourself some bullet points so then you can still just kind of riff on each one. But that's going to keep you concise, because if you just have a topic in mind, and by the way, this is what I used to do on social media. I just had a topic and then I would just talk. And when I look back at it, those videos were usually twice as long as they needed to be, because I just kept rambling. I kept going and going and going. But if you think about it a little bit ahead of time, like maybe 5 minutes of thought ahead of time, what the hook's going to be, what the topic's going to be, and then a few bullet points that you want to hit, it helps you hit those things and stay concise so that the video could be shorter and not drone on forever. So this trend that will help you reach 10 times more people is simple, authentic videos. Like, I think if you are getting these fancy cameras, if you are getting studios, if you have a videographer and all of that, that's great. But every once in a while, actually, most of the time, just grab your phone and just talk to it, but make sure it's done in an interesting, concise way. Make sure it has a great hook to grab attention. Make sure that whatever's behind you is interesting. There's an epidemic among agents where they're sitting at their desk with a white or a gray wall behind them, and they're giving, they're like, I got to do video, they're not thinking about what's behind them. But then what the viewer sees is this super boring visual of a white wall with a person in front of it, and they just scroll past it because it looks freaking boring. So think about what's behind you. That's why there was a study done about videos recorded in cars. They just outperform. And I don't know why, but I think it's because the audio is usually pretty good, because like the car just has great acoustics. And there's something about just being outside of your office, out of your desk, in the car, that it's a little less boring to see. If you need to, just go stand on your front porch. And if there's a wall behind you, maybe turn this way so that there's a tree behind you, which is a little bit more interesting to the eye. All these things make a big difference. I told you in the beginning, I don't want you to overthink it. And I know that we're kind of getting into some nuances and details here. So if you're at the point where you're like, okay, now I'm confused, just know this. When you're doing content on social, just figure out how you can say and deliver the message that you want to deliver as fast as you possibly can, and figure out how to start it in an interesting, entertaining, or engaging way. If you can just be interesting, if you can figure out how to just be interesting on social, you're going to reach so many more people and ultimately sell so many more houses and get so much more business as a result. So be interesting. Don't worry about being professional. Don't worry about just freaking be yourself. Dress the way you want to dress. Talk the way you want to talk. As you guys that have been listening to the show for a while, based on my personality, there's a lot of people that probably don't care for me. That's totally fine. My personality is not for them. I'm okay with that, because I know that my personality will appeal to the right people. I see agents trying to appeal to everybody. That's a big problem. Just try to appeal to the people who actually do like you and do like your personality and do click with the way that you say things, and that they do want to hear from you. And the others, they're just not going to watch you, and that's okay. So stop putting energy into trying to create content in a certain way with a certain personality where you shave off the corners for people that aren't going to watch your shit anyways. Before we wrap it up, I'm going to give you one last example of stories, okay, of format, a way to use stories that I've been testing over the last week or two that's been doing really, really well. I actually just posted a story 3 days prior to me recording this. It's by far my most viewed story ever. It had over 2,000 views on the story in like the first hour because of this format. So some of you have seen this. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw this. But I learned this from a creator named Maria Wendt. I see all of her content now. She teaches people how to grab attention and sell stuff through social. What I specifically am trying is how can I get more attention in my stories? And what I've learned is a lot of times when you are talking, when you do a video where you're like, hey, let me tell you about this thing in your story, that's usually not going to perform nearly as well as this new format that I'm talking about. So this new format is a static image, and it's got to be somewhat attention grabbing. It doesn't have to be goofy. I've experimented with like some goofy still images, but you do a still image with a bold headline of text and then a big paragraph of smaller text below it, which forces them to put their thumb on the screen and hold so that they can read it. And when you do that, okay, think about it. If you're the Instagram algorithm, and this is true on any stories platform, by the way, but if somebody pushes and holds on your story, it's increasing the time on post. It's showing the algorithm, hey, this is interesting stuff because people are pausing it to read it. So if it's interesting, we should probably show it to more people. And so if you have a bold headline that grabs attention and then a big paragraph of text below it that is pretty small that people have to hold to read, that whole time they're on your story and the algorithm's like, this is good stuff. And then it shows it to more people and more people and more people. Now, at the end of that paragraph, you can have a call to action where maybe you're promoting a listing or an open house or a free seller guide or a home valuation or your home bot page or whatever. And you do a call to action, reply the word home, reply the word 2026, and I'll send you the link. Reply the word this, and I'll send you this. And when people then take action on that, and they actually reply with that trigger word, you have ManyChat set up, and ManyChat will respond automatically and deliver the link or deliver the download, whatever it is. But that reply is added engagement to the story. So you're already having people pause on the story to read it, which is an indicator that it's good stuff. Then you're getting a ton more replies than you would have otherwise on the story. Now, it's going to take some practice to get the copy right. You have to write it in a way that leads somebody to want to know more at the end. And as long as you do that, you're going to get a ton of replies, which shows the algorithm, again, this is really good stuff. A lot of people are engaging. And so you're going to get a ton of story views. So if you want someone to take action on something, if you are selling a thing, or you want someone to download a thing or go to a certain website to get a thing, as long as you set it up correctly with a static image, a bold headline, a big paragraph of text, and a call to action, which triggers your ManyChat automation at the end. I know it sounds a lot, but for some of you, you're tracking. If you're not, don't worry about it. Just take it step by step. That is how my best stories my most viewed stories have come in the last week because of this format. My most watched stories or my most engaged with stories have never been the videos where I talk about something. Now, you should still do that because that's how people get to know you and can connect with you. You can tell stories that way, but don't expect that those are going to go viral. I mean, stories don't really go viral anyways, but don't expect that those are going to rocket to, your top 3 most viewed stories ever. But if you really want someone to take action, this new format where it's a static image and everything I just described works so much better than a video where you're describing something. Last point I will say of why that works so well is what's it called? Completion or retention? I forget. It's completion. So if you did a 30-second long video, most people are not going to watch 100% of it, right? So your completion might be 50%, 40%, 60%, whatever on average. But a static image, the completion is 100% because it's a static image. The only question is how fast do they skip away from it? So that your completion is already high because it's a static image. You stack in the other things that I talked about. And I will Go to my Instagram stories when you see this, and I will have one in my stories. I'll make sure that I have one in my stories after this episode drops so you can see it, copy it, and then check out Maria Went. I learned all this from her. She's an incredible creator, and I'm glad that I came across her stuff to learn this format. So go check that out as a way to increase your views with stories and your ability to get people to take action and get off the fence through your stories instead of just trying to do it through your posts all the time. If you want to learn more tips and hacks on exactly how, like specific ways that you can get more views, more reach outs, more messages going, which ultimately leads to clients from social, I want you to go over to massiveagentsociety.com/jump. I created a new program called Jumpstart 2026, where I'm giving you the blueprint to get 5 or more deals, actual closings from social media every single month going into 2026 and beyond, of course. But I want you to start this now and learn this framework now so that once January 1st hits, you're getting 3, 4, 5, 6 deals a month every single month from social. So to find out the details of what that looks like, go to massiveagentsociety.com/jump. And then if you are anywhere near the Vegas area, November 13th, I'm going to be at the Fairway Elevate event in Vegas at the Bellagio. Incredible lineup. I'm going to be speaking, my good friend Chelsea Pites, Neil Dingra, Shivani Peterson, Arjun Dingra, Jen Gottlieb, Haley Parker, a bunch of others. To get all the details for this one-day conference that I believe absolutely is worth traveling to, I don't care where you are. If you're looking for one more great tactical event to go to this year, go to vegas.fairwayelevate.com, vegas.fairwayelevate.com, and save yourself some money and get a massive freaking discount on the ticket. Just put in promo code Dustin VIP, save yourself some money, and I hope to see you at the Bellagio November 13th in Vegas. And got to give a shout out to our friends over at Keeping Current Matters. Be the advisor that your clients trust with Keeping Current Matters. KCM gives you easy to understand market insights, ready to share graphics, and scripts to keep you looking like a pro. You can try KCM for free. And by the way, the other top producers in your market and across the country, they're already using KCM. It's one of the tools in their tool belt that it's part of their secret sauce, and it's available to you as well. It positions you, as long as you consume the information and do something with it, as long as you actually take action and use the tool, you can position yourself as one of those go-to trusted advisors in your market as well. Go to trykcm.com/BAM to check it out. And speaking of BAM, BAMX is one of the most amazing communities and platforms that I've seen in the industry. Imagine having the copy for every one of your marketing emails, every video script, all the hooks for your videos, and every social post, even graphics that you can just put your logo on and change some text, delivered to your inbox every single week. BAMX helps agents level up your content and your business. BAMX gives you hyperlocal, data-driven social media templates, video scripts, blogs, email content, courses, masterminds. There's a referral network in there and a network of other ambitious agents to collaborate with. There's a lot. So rather than just your eyes glazing over, all I want you to do here is go to massiveagentsociety.com/BAMX, massiveagentsociety.com/BAMX, and click play on the video. You want to know what BAMX is all about? You want to know why I've been chirping about it for the last 3 years, why I'm such a believer that BAMX is a great community and a great tool for agents? Go to the website, click play, and you will visually see everything that's included and why thousands of agents are now part of BAMX. Check that out. Thank you so much for being here today. Maybe I'll have to do some more of these podcasts live in a studio one day. I don't know. Might have to level up my content because this has been kind of fun, despite completely throwing me off after doing my podcast 8 years in one way. So I hope this was good for you. Take some action. Try out the stuff that I was talking about. Don't overthink your content. If you find yourself thinking about overproducing something, figure out how to just deliver the message quickly, to the point, authentically, without all the bullshit, without all the fancy stuff. And I bet it performs better. And it takes much less of your time. Thank you so much for listening. Please share this episode with anyone in real estate who needs to hear it. Your broker, your team leader, some other agents you're friends with. Share it in a Facebook group, put it in your story. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next week.